war is an extension of politics. You heard what I say. War is an extension of politics. Let's take a look at reasons why RAILA is taking a break going to UK. Is it really going to UK? Let's explore this theory that he might be meeting somebody, some faction that's not a vacation as we are made to believe. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, let's take a look at this theory that RAILA is going to meet the Russians. Let's go.
Usikubali nusu mukate, usikubali ata bebe mawe, sufuria kichwani Ruto, usikubali handisheki.
I was thinking about this after this past weekend. I had Wajakoya in a speech that he gave somewhere, I forgot where exactly. But Wajakoya was basically saying, Baba, please go get the Russians so we can remove this government. I'm paraphrasing. And I thought about it. And I just wanted to explore this theory. Could it be that RAILA is going to UK to meet the Russians? Now, follow me through this, and I'll try to make this video short as usual. I usually say that, but it ends up a long video. But this time I promise I'll make this video short. I just want you to think about this. RAILA has tried everything to get Ruto out of this office, okay? RAILA has tried Mandamano, which is usually his strongest suit. He depends on his followers to go out there, protest, some of them cause chaos. The reason for this is to actually destabilize the economy, the government, and make it ungovernable for Mr. Ruto, okay? But the problem is, as I've mentioned in my previous video, is that RAILA cannot depend on Mandamano this time because, like I said, unlike the past in 2017, 2007, RAILA does not have the majority will of the people, okay? He does have some followers, the die-hard supporters of Azimio, who are backing him in this. His strongholds, the guys in Kibera, the guys in Madare, the guys in Kisumu, some pockets of Nyanza province, whether it's Kisumu, Siaya, you know. When he calls for Mandamano, people will go out, okay? And of course, he had some help from Maina Njenga to help him in the Mandamano in some parts of Central Province, okay? And also try to get Kalonzo Musyoka to get his support in Ukambani for people to come out and protest. But that's not enough. That wasn't enough. As we saw during the 3-day Mandamano. Of course, the Nyanza province got the worst of it, where Ruto unleashed the security forces, which brutalized Luos in Kisumu, Yalanda, you know, Kondele, all that. He did the same thing that Kenyatta did in 2017. Nothing new. But it's still atrocities, tragic, and it's unfortunate, okay? And just to show you that RAILA was defeated in this Mandamano thing, Ruto, before even doing this, he was giving a speech and said, hey, do you want, mnataka nikalie mzee ngumu? That just simply suggests that Ruto knows that he can actually do away with this Mandamano if he chooses to. He can deal with RAILA's supporters ruthlessly if he wants to. He can thwart this Mandamano if he wants to, okay? So it basically suggests that this Mandamano, he can take care of it. He's not worried about this Mandamano. RAILA is not giving him a headache over this Mandamano, okay? It might be tragic, we might have atrocities, losses, but it's something that he can deal with. Basically, that's what I'm saying. And now that we had those tragic events happen in Nyanza province, in Kisumu in particular, where people were brutalized, these Mandamano are at a halt, okay? And of course, the UN ICC prosecutor came to the country. I don't know if he was collecting evidence or whatever the case is. So it kind of made both the government and the opposition to rethink about this Mandamano confrontation, whether it's from the police side or from the people who are going for this protest. They have to, the people who are calling for this protest, okay? They have to think about their action because they might be answerable to these crimes if they are to happen again. So that might be a motivation for these both two parties to come and sit down in this bipartisan nonsense led by Chungwa and Kalonzo Musyoka. But let's go back to Raila's trip to UK, because that's what I want to talk about now. Could it be that Raila is soliciting help from the Wagner group, or some, like my people say, Wagner, the Russian militia group, the mercenaries? Because if you look at it, Africa is going through a little transition right now. Okay, we watch Mali, Burkina Faso, and what's the other country I forgot? There's 3 countries there. But all these, and Niger, okay? Let's take Niger, for example, okay? Niger, the reason why they were successful in their coup d'etat is that they were helped by the Wagner group, the Russian mercenary group, okay? The reason they were successful is because these Russians, the Wagner group, Wagner, as they call it, they have superior artillery, they have troops in the ground, they have highly trained mercenaries who can easily take over the government of the day, which they successfully did. And they are ready to face ECOWAS if ECOWAS decides to launch a military attack on them, okay? So that's something that's happening. It's been 3 countries now: Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. And these 3 countries are helping each other to maintain power, okay? Whether you support these military coups or not, that's irrelevant in this case. I'm just saying the Russian military, not Russian military, but this military mercenary group that were hired by the Russians, who are doing their bid for on the Russians' behalf to, take care of these coups, have been successful in these 3 countries, okay? I doubt if these guys will have been successful without the help of this mercenary group. Now, could it be that Raila is going to UK to meet up with the Russians in order to have a coup d'etat happen in Kenya? Because we know that the Kenyan military, as trained as they may be, because they have had joint trainings with the Americans and the British and some other folks. But we know the mercenaries, this Wagner group, the Russian mercenary group, who are assisting these military coups in West Africa, they have advanced military equipment, okay? They have advanced training, okay? And them taking out military top heads in Kenya will not be a problem. So could it be an avenue that Raila is looking at as a viable option? Because he has tried everything in his power. He tried the elections and he lost the elections, okay? Fair and square. There's no evidence that suggests that Raila won, okay? He's tried his strongest weapon, which is Mandamano, protest, by causing chaos, and he lost that too. He does not have enough manpower or military equipment to take out the government, to dethrone RUTO. So could it be that he's going there, probably will end up in Russia or somewhere neutral, to solicit, to get help from the Russian mercenary group? We know in Africa, okay, right now, Africa, like in Congo, the American version of this mercenaries is the Black Water, okay? These mercenaries go to places like Congo, Somali, and they train the forces there to, destabilize the government or to, carry out military tactical attacks in order to control some portion of the continent in order to extract the resources that they want, okay? So basically, Wagner is the Russian version of Blackwater, The Blackwater is the American mercenary group, okay? So what I'm saying is this. Could it be that RAILA is trying his hand on that, okay? Because all he needs to be successful, to have a successful military coup d'etat, to execute one, does not take much. Well, what I mean is this. You need a few hundred soldiers, okay? They might not be highly trained, but the people who might lead the coup d'etat itself could be this Wagner group, this Russian mercenary group that's, you know, doing its job in the West Africa right now. These guys can come and provide the artillery, logistics, you know, and see how to take out the Kenyan military in order to RAILA to take power. Of course, these guys have like advanced military equipment, okay? Advanced training, okay? And the aim is not to defeat the Kenyan military if they are to take that avenue, okay? That route. The aim is to destabilize, divide the military. Because the military right now is also divided, okay? We know there's this sense that the military is mostly comes from the two tribes, the Kalenjins and the Kikuyus, okay? Yes, I know, is it the topmost general is a Luo. But I'm just saying, if there's to be a coup, it doesn't take much. If you get this Wagner group and get those RAILA's town supporters from Kibera, train them somewhere in Uganda or Tanzania, whatever the case, you know, give them a little bit, some AK-47s and some whatever, you know, and also recruit some army guys from the military, Kenyan military, okay? It will be easy to topple the Kenyan presidency, okay, the executive, to penduza serikali, you know. It doesn't take much. As you saw in 1982, remember, RAILA was the names that were mentioned as being part of that coup, you know. It took a bunch of guys from the Air Force who almost succeeded to take out Moi, but of course we know what happened. So could it be that RAILA is trying that this time and is trying to go and find the Russians to help him to take out RUTO? Because guess what? We know the West is losing its grip on Africa. We see that in West Africa. Could that anti-Western wave come to East Africa? We saw Museveni now is no longer the West favorite. He just fell out with the US over this gay rights bullcrap, okay? You saw Museveni go and met Mr. Putin, okay? After he was sanctioned, his country's sanctioned because of this LGBT nonsense, okay? So so Museveni understands that there's a wave, there's an anti-West wave that's coming to Africa. It started on the West and it might come to the East. The West is preoccupied, as you know. The Americans are occupied in Ukraine. Europe is blowing up now. You know, the NATO, Russians might go to war with Poland, okay? Because Ukraine is pretty much done, okay? Americans are sending troops to Europe, okay? So they're stretched. So will it be a perfect opportunity for the Russians, through this mercenary group, Wagner, to also start their takeover of the eastern part of Africa? They already have Museveni on their side. RAILA could be their main guy by helping him take out RUTO. Is that a possibility? Okay, that's just a theory, okay? Because in Tanzania, the Tanzania president is not as popular right now, with the opposition being jailed for criticizing the whole takeover, the Dubai takeover of their port, okay? But anyway, I want to make this video short. The whole point is this. I'm saying this. Could it be that RAILA is going to UK to meet the Wagner group, the Russians, to help him to probably organize a coup d'etat in Kenya. Is that a possibility? I gave you the reasons why. Tell me what you think. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell me what you think. I'll talk to you guys later. My name is Ken the Revolutionary. Peace and blessings.